What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction, and this one we have why is the Netherlands so insanely rich? Before we dive in and figure out the reason, if you guys happen to enjoy it, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's get right to it.
This is the Netherlands. It's a small country around 235 times smaller than the US, has a population of 17.5 million, which is about a third of Spain's population, but somehow it has the 18th largest economy in the world.
That's insane.
Its GDP is larger than Singapore's, Qatar's, and Hungary's GDPs combined. So, how did it get here? Why is this tiny country among the richest in the world? Let me explain. One clear difference between the Netherlands and other countries is its geography, and it's weird and interesting. It's located in the northwest of Europe, next to the North Sea, and is a really flat country, with more than a quarter of it lying below the sea level. There's actually a saying that goes, God created the earth, but the Dutch created the Netherlands, referring to the fact that throughout history, the Dutch have been fighting to keep the water out of their country. Well, it sounds like they're—
while they took it some L's, they took it some losses, they took it some hits, took it on the chin a couple times. They learned with each loss, and they got better at beating the water. They got stronger, they got smarter, and now, right now, the Netherlands got the upper hand on the water. And so now, balls in the water court. We'll see what it does next.
They're doomed because of the constant threat of flooding and their lack of a diverse geography. It's actually quite the opposite. Being below the sea level and having to protect themselves from floods, out of necessity, the Dutch became masters of the water, able to control where it goes and what land stays dry. They built dikes and dams, leading to an intricate and complex water management system. The techniques they use are so effective that they've even managed to reclaim land from the sea. Flevoland is one of Netherlands.
Reclaiming land from the sea is actually like insane to think about. But that is the Dutch, bro.
There's 12 provinces and essentially didn't exist until the Dutch decided to drain out the water and reclaim an area of 1,412 square kilometers of land. All of this water management is insanely impressive, but how does it help them economically? Well, the Netherlands has very fertile soil, making it easy to grow crops. Even the reclaimed land has great growing potential, and so if you couple this fertility with an expansive system of water management, you get a country that is very capable of developing its agriculture industry, something that will become very important later on. But for now, it's important to understand that the Dutch being forced to become masters at managing water, as well as the fertile land, gave it a head start in agriculture and allowed it to develop more quickly than other countries which were not forced to innovate as much. I also mentioned that the land was very flat, which actually helps a lot since farming and building on flat land is obviously easier, enabling them to develop their infrastructure at a much faster rate. And when you also—
while the Netherlands had to work hard to become masters of the water, in becoming masters of the water, it came with a lot of other benefits that they might not have foresaw. And it taught them a lot about agriculture, and then having all that flat land for sure is such an advantage. Like, so to be taught how to master and manipulate water, and then have flat land, and now you're doing the agriculture thing, you're gonna be the best at it.
To account for its geographical positioning, the story becomes even clearer. It's right at the North Sea, giving access to maritime trade routes. The Rhine and Vaal rivers, which flow through the Netherlands, also allows for trading routes between Germany and Switzerland to be formed, and generally being close to other developed countries such as England, Germany, and France made it much easier to trade, something which the Dutch are known for, but we'll touch on that in a bit. Its geography does give it an advantage, but no development would be possible without a bit of innovation. In 1594, the Dutch invented the wind-powered sawmill, which made the processing of wood 30 times faster than before. Instead of having to rely on manpower, they could harness the wind to do the work for them. And remember how I mentioned that trade would become crucial to the Netherlands? Well, with this industrial production of wood, it meant that they could build ships at a much faster rate, solidifying their opportunity to become leaders of trade. And specifically, one company took this opportunity and ran with it. It was the Dutch East India Company, or as the Dutch call it, the Verenigde Oost-Indische Compagnie, or VOC for short. Established in 1602, this trading company was granted a government charter for East Asia, effectively allowing it to hold a monopoly on trade in East Asia. Combine this monopoly with a country that is leading the world in trade, ships, and innovation, and you get complete domination. This company became so big that at its peak it was worth 78 million guilders, which translated to today's money is a whopping $7.9 trillion.
East India Company, 7.9 trillion. That's with the T. Trillion dollars. This company, not the country, the company. Jesus.
To put that into perspective, the current most valuable company in the world, Microsoft, has a valuation of $3 trillion,
That's insane.
less than 2.5 times VOC's valuation. The Dutch East India Company was so powerful that it even obtained governmental powers, such as being able to declare and wage war, negotiate treaties, and establish colonies. But how did this help the Dutch? Well, it's logical to assume that the VOC being so powerful and impactful brought a lot of trade and money into the Netherlands. This then helped the Netherlands become a center of commerce and grow into an even larger economy. Fun fact, the first stock exchange was actually established in the Netherlands in Amsterdam in 1611, and this, of course, attracted even more investment to the Netherlands. The Netherlands becoming an economic center in the 17th century also attracted highly educated people from all parts of Europe. People would come to the Netherlands in search for higher paying jobs and opportunities, therefore creating even more economic value, which amplified the wealth that was in the Netherlands. But that was 400 years ago. What about now? How is it still holding its place in the world economy? Nowadays, the Netherlands is very well known for its agriculture and export industry. Carrying on from its past, the Netherlands continues to put emphasis on their agricultural sector. This also includes innovation in agriculture. The University of Wageningen ranks as the best agricultural education institute in the world, and the Dutch are constantly researching ways to improve the efficiency of farming. Agriculture can explain part of why the Netherlands has such large exports, but the other large part of the exports are due to something called the Rotterdam effect. This phenomenon, named after the Dutch city of Rotterdam, famous for its massive port, refers to imports that are quickly re-exported out of the country. This happens because for some countries, it's actually cheaper to import products via the Netherlands rather than directly from the source.
That's crazy. I ain't never heard of that in my life. So it go to the Netherlands for a stopover because it's cheaper to make the Netherlands the middleman than to go straight to the source. So it's like, all right, Netherlands, y'all do it then.
And re-exports count as an export of the country,
Oh,
which explains why the Netherlands has such high exports.
dang.
In fact, this Rotterdam effect typically accounts for around half of all exports of the Netherlands. Apart from the export and agriculture business, the Netherlands is also an attractive country for other businesses and investments.
Yeah.
Its political and economical stability, as well as the access to a highly educated and skilled workforce, makes it much friendlier for businesses. Linking back to its geography, it's very useful for businesses to be so close to other economically powerful countries such as Germany, meaning they have great access to these markets, sweetening the prospect for establishing a business in the Netherlands. The complex and intricate tax system and tax treaties also means that large corporations can find loopholes in order to not pay as much in taxes. It then makes sense why so many large corporations benefit from having headquarters in the Netherlands. It turns out that the geography, history, politics, and clever systems of the Netherlands all contribute to its riches. This wealth was not built overnight, but instead took centuries of innovation and competition to reach this scale, which also goes to show how important time is in amassing wealth. And it's interesting to think whether the Dutch would be as prosperous today if they hadn't had to face the challenge of keeping water out of their country. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot, and YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video too. See you next time.
That's so freaking dope. And that just goes to show you why the Netherlands is insanely rich for how small the country is, for how small the population of the country is comparatively to so many other countries in the world. But their economy is absolutely thriving, and they got money. So it pays to master the water. It pays for agriculture. The Rotterdam effect, where you take other countries' imports and you re-export them, and now they count as your exports. Or you take, yeah, that's crazy. And then I think he didn't mention, but I know in the past, I know they shut it down. But the Groningen gas, where you're taking natural gas, that also helped. But I know they stopped that because of the damage it was doing. Uh, so y'all talk to me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe. Get a video a thumbs up. Check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.